I think people's expectations are unrealistic. And I say this as someone who, right now, I feel like I am getting, like, what I'm getting paid is pretty equivalent to the amount of work that I have to do, right? It's like when I was getting paid way less, the work I had to do was pretty equivalent. The amount of experience I had to have was equivalent to it. So I think a lot of times in the cybersecurity field, there's a very accurate correlation between your experience, your responsibilities, and what you're getting paid. And I think that there are a lot of the outliers are louder than the normal people, right? A lot of people who come out and be like, hey, I made six figures right out the gate. My first job, six figures. Even like my first job, 90K. Those people are outliers. Those people are the exception, not the rule. But they are the loudest voices. So the mass, typically just hears these loudest voices and they're the ones they follow and they base their expectations off of that. Truth be told, like, I think entry-level jobs, right, are, of course, I think there's definitely should be fairness in wages, but a lot of times entry-level jobs are they pay in accordance to the responsibility and experience that you have. If you're gonna be doing what I'm doing, then of course I wouldn't expect you to be earning anything less than 100K, right? I mean, what I do requires a lot of good amount of experience, knowledge in several domains, and really good technical and time management skills, because there's a lot of work and pressure that has to go into it. But even just the technical skills that is required, it's a lot. So I imagine that you get paid what I get paid. But if you're doing something else, like, SOC roles are definitely important. But if you're like in a MSSP that is not even really like, they're just kind of toning up their environment, they're just kind of figuring stuff out, the alerts are not even properly tuned, like they don't have a good SIM, like even the alerts are not even high fidelity. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you're getting paid like around 50-60K. I don't think that's, I think it should be appreciated that at least you have a role to get experience. But if you're in a more like a cyber fusion center that we worked in, where it's like, okay, there's a lot more moving pieces, you're working with a big client, there's a lot more at stake, right? You're dealing with real attacks, it requires more technical expertise, then of course I imagine like you'll be getting paid way more. And again, it comes with the experience. Like, people that are I was probably the least experienced person on our team, but everyone else there, had with more years of experience than I did. And of course, I'm sure like their salaries aligned that. But you can't just come in with bare knowledge of like maybe blue team level 1, try hack me here and there, maybe a bootcamp or a college degree, and think you can just like get a six-figure role, except you're extremely talented.
Like you.
Again, it's the exception, right, not the rule, right? And not everyone is that person. Yeah,
definitely. I like to say, RIP to the Godfather. We focus on the majority, not the minority. And these are the comments that I got. Like, I don't know if you follow me on TikTok, bro, but if you go look at that video I made with the Sec Plus background, and it's the white guy saying, "You sure about that? You sure about that?" And it's the title says, "I just got my Sec Plus. I'm ready for a SOC analyst job." And and then the job description is pretty much saying, "You sure about that?" Right? I got so much like different flack for that, and people bringing in the minority of like, oh, government jobs. It's like, government jobs don't count. A lot of them are easy. There are some that are hard. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some that are hard, but a lot of them are easy, and a lot of them are hard to even get fired from. So they don't count. Anything outside of government, you're gonna have to show your worth. That's pretty much what it boils down to. I tell people all the time, if you don't have a skill set, you'll be lucky to get 60, 65. Now, what I do, like, remember way back when you got your first start, I tried to say, see if there's who's gonna give you the average. That's what I tell people. If they're gonna hire you, try to let them get you the average. But if it's more than what you're making and it can pay your bills, take it and let's use it as a paid internship. That's the route. But a lot of people wouldn't have did what you did. They would have thought they could have got something better and possibly not got none at all.